everyone, and welcome to the Music is Our Hero podcast, hosted by Grammy Award winner Drea Young. This is the spot where we celebrate creativity, share stories, and lift each other up in the arts. Each episode will dive into conversations that inspire, empower, and spark new ideas, because art isn't just about what we make, it's about the community we build together. So grab a seat, get comfy, and let's grow in creativity side by side. The Music is Our Hero podcast, where creativity, community, and inspiration come to life.
Here I am today in Spit, Philly with Jackson. Jackson is chief engineer here at Spit, Philly. He's also an artist, a songwriter, a performer, a videographer, tons of things. So you stay pretty busy.
Yes, I do.
What's your life outside of all this? Do you do much?
I don't have a life outside of this.
I guess not. Yeah. That'll keep you busy.
I pretty much engineer full time here. I have my artist project. Cal Blac is my artist project. My middle name is Cal. A lot of people know me as Cal.
So that's where that comes from.
Yeah.
And then you also shoot video?
And then I do freelance video and photography work. So I'm just always bouncing around, working on a project of some kind or another.
Sounds
trying to
fun.
make time for my own stuff all the time too. And so
How does that go?
How does that go? Basically just whenever I have the time and energy to do it is when I work on my stuff. And right now it's just here. So I just mainly, when I have some extra time and I'm here, that's when I'm working on my stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Cool. What made you, have you always been into music?
Yeah. So musical family. My mom is a professional singer. She's sang in a bunch of groups. My stepdad is a country guitarist and singer.
Okay.
That was just always around me growing up. And yeah, I was really lucky to have that, my stepdad always had guitars laying around the house. He would always be playing
So it's in your blood.
microphones, even a drum set. Like there was a drum set around. My first instrument was drums because I would love to go over to his house and play drums. And then eventually him and my mom moved together, and then we had it in our house. And so I was just always going nuts on stuff. And I got started recording.
Amazing.
I got started recording really young. Like my first exposure to recording music was when I was like 9 years old. And I barely knew how to play guitar.
What were you recording on?
It was a little tape recorder, 4-track Tascam tape recorder.
Yeah.
And
They're
then
fun.
later he got a digital one that was like an 8-track he would put an SD card into. I would like set up mics, and luckily he had a bunch of like SM58s and 57s. I would set those up around the drums. Had no idea what I was doing.
But those early days
Record
of not
guitars
knowing
and
what
drums.
you're doing is like fun. Like it's when you're like being creative, I feel like you'll be like, oh, I really like this sound. Like, how can I make this happen? And you're not technical because you don't know yet. So I think
Had no idea how to
so
make
there's something
anything
special
sound good.
in that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I definitely had no idea how to do anything, but I'm really glad that was how I started, because the way I learned how to record was I wasn't punching in stuff, I was recording the whole thing all the way through, and I recorded hundreds of songs that way by the time I was 21.
Wow.
And like that was all I knew at that time. I didn't even really know much. I did some basic mixing stuff. I started in Studio One, but my main focus was getting a good sound, before I even get into the DAW. And then I got Ableton. How old was I?
Game changer.
It was like probably 10 years ago now. I got Ableton. Kind of funny side story about that. I saw, if you guys know, people probably know FKJ. He's a kind of jazz pianist, sax, guitar guy that does crazy performances in Ableton. And one of my friends shared one of his songs on Facebook. It wasn't that big song with Masego. It was Die With a Smile, one of the ones off his album. He was performing in front of like this aquarium with like this huge backdrop, and he had this ultra simplified setup with just an APC-40 controller, his guitar, his sax, and I don't think he even played keys in that one, but I just watched him like do this kind of sequenced performance in Ableton where he had a backing track, but he was playing instruments to it, and he just did it in this really sleek, cool way. And it was that day, I think I was like 20, 21 or
It was
22.
that day. That was your next question.
It was
You
literally
answered it
that
without
day.
asking.
I like went and opened my first credit card with I think Guitar Center, and just bought all this stuff that I thought that he had, and it was like the wrong stuff. I like bought the wrong stuff, but I did buy Ableton and a controller, and then I started going nuts with all that stuff, and that's kind of what led to more of what I'm
yeah. So
doing
the
now.
next question was going to be like, what artist or what situation kind of made you be like, all right. So that story is kind of like, I guess, an artist that made you be like, all right, I need to figure out how to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm a guitarist first, and Jimi Hendrix has been my number one like favorite inspiration of all time, like for a long time. Probably about the time I was 19. I really loved Jimi Hendrix when I was a little kid too. I would watch his tapes of him like literally rolling around on stage. You know, he like lights his
Like, how do
guitar
I
on
do
fire,
that?
smashes his guitars, and
Well,
does
that
crazy
almost
stuff.
happened to you at the festival. You almost could have lit on fire.
Got
by
electrocuted. Yeah, we did. I did play through I have this other thing as another story, but thunderstorms always seem to happen when I have a show. I don't know why this is, but it's like all the time. I'm like inclement weather is like weirdly like seems to be like following me around.
There was a festival. Spit Philly did a festival last September, and he performed. And amazing performance. That's when I was like, oh my god, this dude is sick. Like you're
Thanks.
sick, dude.
Appreciate
But there was a thunderstorm rolling in and lightning, and it was raining. I was running the sound, and I'm like, at what point are we pulling the plug? His strings are electric.
Yeah.
Like,
we had to pull the plug. It was raining.
That was crazy.
I was playing
it went
one
on
of my
longer than I
songs.
thought it would.
Yeah. My last one I got
So
to
good,
play
though.
was Shine
Epic.
On Through, which is kind of like I think most people like that one.
Yeah.
It's one of my good songs, I think, and it was like during that song, I was like playing the guitar solo, shredding,
so
and like
good.
the lightning was going crazy
It was epic.
under this tent. It was pretty fun.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
awesome. What led you to Spit Philly?
That's another story. Well, so I'm from Washington State. I grew up in
Okay.
Olympia, Washington. I lived after high school. I moved to Miami. I lived there for only about a year. I thought it was a really cool place to live, but it wasn't really like where I wanted to stay. So I ended up taking a job in Alaska when I was living in Miami. So
Wow.
So when I moved to Miami, I drove my 2005 Nissan Altima to Miami, filled with all the studio equipment that I had accumulated at that time, monitors and an Apollo and my guitars and keyboards. Brought all that stuff to Miami, and then I got the job in Alaska. Moved, drove my Nissan back to Olympia where I grew up. Dropped it at my parents' house. Flew to Alaska from Olympia.
Wow.
And then I met my girlfriend there, Jules.
Wow.
She was also working at the lodge. She's from over here in Philly, and so we ended up together after working there for the whole summer. And then we moved back here after that. So for a third time at that point, I drove my Nissan Altima back
God
across
bless
the
that
U.S.
Nissan. You
with
still
all
have
my.
it?
No, I don't have it
Oh.
anymore.
was
But
probably a
it
sad
made
day.
3 trips across the U.S.
That's amazing.
And then then we got here, and I basically was just doing odd jobs at the time. That's
So
why
you
I
went
was
from
like,
Alaska to Philly.
yeah, I moved from Alaska temporarily back to Washington and Ocean Shores. I had like another temp job I was doing there, like a carpentry job. I'm not a carpenter, but I was working for somebody who was showing me the ropes and stuff.
Yeah.
And I did that for 3 months in Washington. Then we came back here to Philly after that. And when I got to Philly, it was like I had no connections here. I literally didn't know anyone here except for a couple of my girlfriend's friends who I had met, but no connections, didn't know any musicians, wasn't tapped in at all. So from there, I just got a job first at UPS. And then after that, I switched to Amazon. And I was delivering for Amazon for 2 years, the first 2 years living here in Philly. And was starting my Cal Blac project. And I met some friends. Shout out to Bugs, Sam, Mike Carney, those guys I met. Shout out to Aaron Hartman. I met those guys through just like I actually just went to like a jam that somebody invited me to on Instagram, where I met some of those guys. And then after that, my friend Bugs asked me if I wanted to play a show. It was just this like 4th of July show, like right after COVID. And it was in a backyard. It was like just like a party with a half pipe in the backyard. And that was my first Cal Blac set. And so I
Nice.
brought like all this equipment. My setup's kind of crazy live. Like it's just a lot of equipment for one person.
Yeah.
Bring out my rack Apollo, and I plug in my mic, my
Makes it easy for the
guitar,
engineer, your
pedalboard.
setup.
Yeah, for the sound. Although most people don't get it right, but
Oh.
in my opinion, like a lot of shows, I feel like the sound people like don't always
They
get it
ruin-
right, especially if I have live drums. But at the time, I didn't have any drums or anything. It was just
Well, I
I
think,
had
I'm talking
backing
about when
tracks.
I did that festival. I think it was just the stereo out.
it was yeah.
Yeah.
That's the most easy and simple way to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that first show was just me, Ableton, my controller, guitar, vocals, keys, like an analog synth. I'll switch back and forth from playing like synth parts to like piano parts and stuff like that. And because it's analog, it's this guy right here, this Korg Prologue.
Oh, nice.
Because it's analog, I can like manipulate it on the fly. So I'll like be doing patches, opening filters, modulating LFOs and that kind of stuff live, which is super fun.
Yeah.
And then that's kind of like what so that was the genesis of my music project and here in Philly. And then to answer your question about how I got to Spit Philly, that was kind of like how I got in touch with like some musicians, and actually there was a lot of rappers and stuff kind of in that crew too.
Yeah.
And then I found this place on Instagram. I just like saw on Instagram. I lived just right down the street at the time from here. And I was like, whoa, what's this new studio? I saw Drowning Fish and I saw Spit Philly was a studio that was getting built. And I saw a picture of it. And all that was in here at the time was the panels were here. The floors were not done yet. So it was just some like half put in floors that were like, the old crappy floors that used to be in this room. This room used to be like, it used to look terrible, and now it's like a beautiful studio.
Yeah.
So I got in right at the tail end of the build,
Okay.
helped them finish the room, helped put in the new floors and stuff, and a few other odd things that needed to be finished. And then basically just got hired as in the first round of engineers here. And then I was still working at Amazon at the time. And then by some good luck, I actually got laid off at Amazon, and it was like just the right time for me to start hitting it hard here and trying to get this career going here.
Yeah.
And that's what I did, and it worked. And fortunately, I had some friends and stuff that were, had
It
like
worked. I love that.
made the kind of music that we record here. Is a lot of rap, contemporary R&B, pop, that kind of stuff. A lot of vocal recording. And yeah, I just happened to do well at that because I had, honestly, it was kind of easy compared to the way that I was used to making my own stuff and producing everything from scratch. And
Yeah.
so yeah, it was just the right place, right time. And then later on ended up becoming chief engineer here. And
So what's that all like? What's that like? What's the day in the life
yeah,
of the chief engineer?
it's just, we basically have like a team of engineers who work here, and we've worked out over time like how to make that work. When we started, we kind of just hired a lot of people and we'll kind of let whoever book here. And over time, we've really refined how we do that, and we really vet our guys now and like have a really consistent process for how we hire people. But I'm kind of like in charge of just being the guy that sort of sets a good example for everyone else, is a person people can call if they need anything, if they have questions. I'm just kind of here every day.
You're
I'm
here
kind
and
of the
you're the
go-to
leader.
guy. Yeah. And then also just like we have meetings all the time. Always meeting with the rest of the leadership and planning like what we're going to do next. And then this isn't really part of my chief engineer role, but I also do the content here. So I'll
you guys
shoot
do
and
have-
edit the videos that you see here on Instagram and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But they do really well.
Yeah. They
I
do
love
pretty
those.
good.
I love those.
Yeah, people have fun doing them.
What's to you like a common mistake that people might make when they come into the studio?
Well, it depends, but mainly preparation is the biggest thing that I see. I mean, for some people, not being prepared at all is kind of their thing, and that's how they get stuff done because they're really good at thinking of stuff on the fly and being, under the pressure of they work well under pressure kind of thing, and they can work without being prepared. But I would say most people, that's not really the case. And what I see the most of is like people not being prepared. So what I recommend to people usually is like have some way to record the idea before you come into the studio, even if it's BandLab or just like a simple home recording setup, and like record like a demo or something.
Yeah, even
try
on
not
your
to
phone.
get too attached to it, to the way that it sounds, so you don't get the demo-itis thing going on.
Oh, then it doesn't sound right.
Yeah, right. Like, you don't want to run into a thing where you just love the demo so much that you're never going to replicate it. But usually that's
so
not an
don't do
issue.
too good on your demo. Just
just don't
just
get it too
good
attached
enough.
to it is all. Don't listen to it too much. But
Yeah.
but try out the idea. Work out the parts, try out your layering, like what other stuff you're going to add to the song, and have that kind of loosely planned out before you come to the studio.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to coming in here, just plan on getting the most out of your time. Get your takes done quickly and efficiently, and then leave some time for the engineer to like do some of their cool stuff too. And usually if we can strike that balance, we can get good results every time.
Get a lot done.
Yeah.
Bam, bam, bam.
Right.
What's one piece of studio etiquette that artists should know?
Studio etiquette. I say just like remember that the engineer is your friend and they want to help you. So there's no need to also, if you're working with a good engineer, like they're going to be working quickly. They're going to be doing their best already to be working as fast and efficient as possible. So don't rush them, Some people I work super fast, by the way. Like I might be making it sound like they're like it's slow or something, but just don't rush the process.
Yeah.
Usually you get more done if you don't bring like a whole ton of people into the room when you're trying to work and you're trying to focus. So like sometimes I think people come in and I'm trying to mix the song and there's like 7 or 8 people like all making noise in the room and stuff. Like if you want a good result, just come in maybe with just yourself and the engineer, maybe like 1 or 2 close people that you trust their opinion, you want their opinion. Other than that, maybe keep it simple.
Yeah, unless you're just trying to have a party.
Yeah. Unless you're trying to have a party. We do that too. We have parties too. If you want to have a party,
Like
just
listening,
do that.
you guys have like listening, like release parties?
Yeah. We do different kind of stuff. People will, if they record an album or an EP here, they can come and book a release party, and it's a great environment to like chill and really hear the project how it was intended to be heard, and it sounds obviously really good in here, so it's a great listening environment. And then we have other regular parties where people will just come in on their birthday or something and bring in 15 people and everybody takes turns recording on a beat or something, and that's a good time too.
Yeah, that sounds like a good time.
Yeah.
What's your favorite? So you do a lot of vocals.
Yes.
Do you do a lot of other kind of tracking?
Yeah. It just depends on the artist and what they need. A lot of people nowadays, in kind of more modern genres, a lot of times they might have a producer that they like their style already, and they might come in with stems to a beat or just the 2-track itself, like a wave or something.
Yeah.
And so in that situation, I'm working mainly on vocals, and I've gotten really good at, hyper fixating on the details of the vocal mix, and just being able to focus on that alone has been really valuable for me over time to get really good with vocals. But yes,
do you have like a go-to vocal chain, or does it every session? Yeah.
Yes, I do. And it's not like it changes,
tweak it,
I have a
it's what
template
you start
though.
with.
Yeah, I have a template, and it just kind of has a mixture of different things that I tend to use a lot, just ready to go. So my mixing tends to be really quick because I basically just turn stuff on that I want to use, and then I tweak the settings on them to suit the performance, and then I'm hopping in and automating effects, reverbs, delays, and then just kind of fine tuning it to that person's particular.
Do you have like a favorite plugin or two?
Ooh,
at all?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely have some favorites. By category though, like my favorite compressors are usually like analog replications like LA2As and 1176s are kind of my favorite compressors because they have that kind of old school color to them, which sounds great.
Yeah.
So for compressors, I like those. I also love like Distressor is really good, even though that's usually more on the production side. I don't use that on vocals super often, but and then I love like Valhalla reverbs. Shout out to Ableton stock stuff too. Ableton stock actually has some really good, awesome stuff. The glue compressor is amazing. Even the stock reverb in Ableton sounds amazing if you really know how to use it.
Yeah. It does come down
great.
to knowing how to use. There are plugins that do like create their own, but then it does come down to just knowing how to use.
Yeah,
the plugin.
totally. Yeah,
because you could have
100%.
all stock and still make a record if you had to.
I completely agree with that.
You know?
Yeah.
But
I would be fine with just Ableton and no third-party plugins, but it's just nice to have.
it's nice because
the
they
extra
put a
stuff.
different, sometimes like a shine,
Mhm.
some plugins. You know what I mean? Like whatever. But so let's go back to your songwriting. So you write your songs, right?
Yes.
Yeah. What's that process like? Does it just come out? Does it happen over time?
Well, probably written like 1,000 songs, and I'm still figuring it out. So.
So they're
But,
kind of like pieces all over the place that eventually join together.
I usually start with something on an instrument. I usually start with a guitar part or a piano part or a synth part. And then write lyrics to that. Or I might start a production. I might start, recording almost like a beat, but I hardly call it a beat. It's more like a song, I guess. But that's how I think about it. But then I'll write. I might like I might send it to myself, and when I'm driving around in the car, I might like write lyrics, try out vocal ideas to that, and then I'll come into the studio and record vocals over it.
Does it make your brain tired ever when you're doing all the hats?
Yeah, it becomes a problem if it was just like if I was just a full-time musician and I didn't have other people's work that I was working on at the same time.
Yeah.
I could manage it. But I kind of do struggle to manage all of it together, just mainly because of time. I just don't always end up with as much time as I would like to work on my own stuff.
Yeah. That's what happens.
That's the biggest drawback.
What happens when you're in that chair.
Yeah, that's the drawback. But the cool thing is I get things to sound exactly how I want them to sound because I'm doing everything. So that's it's a
and it's like
trade-off
you
that's
could
worth it.
out, but it's like why would you outsource when you know what you want to hear and you know how to do it?
Yeah. And I mean, I just think the whole my Cal Blac project is it's me, you know what I mean? And I might have someone else work on it with me on some point of the like rarely, but most of the time it's just whatever I wanted to come out, you know, or like whatever came through me, and then that's what the project is. That's what people know it for. So I pretty much just keep it just to me.
What's one of the hardest songs that you've written for yourself? Is
the hardest? They're pretty much all pretty hard.
Do you have a push?
A push?
Yeah.
An Ableton push?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I have the push too.
Oh, no, you know what? I pawned it. Because I use an APC 40.
Okay.
That's an Akai controller, and I usually use it for live, not as much for production.
So it does like the same kind of thing?
Yeah, I use it to launch clips.
Yeah.
When I'm performing. So if I want to start a song, I'll launch the first part of the song, and then I have some other controls on there. Like I have some reverb sends and some filtering stuff that I use on the controller.
Yeah.
And then everything else is live instrumentation, backing tracks, and effects and stuff.
It's nice.
Yeah. It's
so
fun.
I cut you off though on your songs. I said your hardest song, and then you said they're all kind of
I don't
hard.
know. If I
they're
have
all kind of hard.
A hardest.
They're all
one.
kind of the same. They're all kind of a lot going on.
Sometimes the hardest part for me is like lyrics, because in order for me to feel good about it, it has to be something that means something to me, something that I actually want to say and I want people to hear. And sometimes I might not feel like anything I have to say is all that important. And so sometimes I just don't feel like I have much to say. And so, but when I do say something, I want to really say it. So I just put a lot of thought into my lyrics.
Do you ever just
and
put
stuff.
instrumentals out?
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, I should probably do more of that, because I could probably get a lot more music out if I didn't worry. But people always say, like, put vocals on your songs, they like, and I like having vocals in my songs too. So
Yeah.
but it's a back and forth. I do release instrumentals for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your favorite song that you've written of yours?
I got a few. Shine On Through is a song that I've had for years that I actually wrote with my good friend Ryan. Shout out to Ryan back in Washington. And he came up with the guitar part actually, like, and we recorded it like an old version of the song, probably 6 or 7 years ago. And I wrote the lyrics, recorded vocals over it. And I've done like live performances of the song that you can find out there. But never actually fully recorded it yet, which is kind of crazy. It's been like 7 years since the song was
So you
first
guys did like a
written.
recording of some sort, you said, right?
Mhm.
But you haven't like reproduced since.
No, so what I need to do is like, really record it now. And I've just been putting a lot of thought over time into how to properly do that, whether or not I want live drums, and just how I want to record the guitars and stuff. And yeah, I mean, I just have other stuff that I want to do too, but that's probably my favorite. And then there's also a new one I got coming soon. Solace in the Black is going to be a good song that I wrote on the guitar,
Okay.
and then built out in the DAW.
Nice.
Yeah, and then instrumental stuff I love too. I got one, Elysian Fields, that I've been playing forever that is really exciting instrumental track. Those are among my favorites probably.
Nice. All right. So with recording, is there anybody that you've ever recorded that you couldn't believe you were recording them? Or something like that?
Like just talent-wise? Or
yeah, like, oh my God, I'm working with this person. This is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, a lot of the people that I get to record, I'm just like blown away by
A lot of them are in Philly?
their talent. Yeah, totally. I mean, I got a guy coming in today, Keelio is his music. He's great. Got Baby Spill is an incredible artist that comes in all the time. Ron Corona, Mike Carney, my good friend Mike Carney, makes amazing music that we've been working on for years now.
How long has Spit been here?
And then 5 years.
Okay.
I actually did. I had as far as like bigger artists and stuff. I did have Rob 49 in here one time, and that kind of blew my mind. But not because he was so good or something. It was more like he came in, and then I turn around at the desk, and I turn around again, and there's two guys with AR-15s standing there, like his bodyguards, and like
oh my
his whole
God,
crew and stuff came in, and that kind of was like, whoa,
that's
like,
a little much.
Yeah,
Right?
It was, yeah, but I guess people like that roll around with their security and stuff.
Does that make that? Yeah, I mean that's a little intense.
Yeah,
I would be like, I don't know.
I
I don't know if
jumped out
I'd
of the
want
chair.
sessions if people had to bring those. You know what I mean? It kind of kills the vibe.
Yeah, I mean,
I understand, but that's a little crazy. Like, are we gonna get shot up during this session? Is that how?
right,
like,
right, yeah. I mean, I just kind of was focused on recording, so I didn't think about it too much. But
yeah. Well, that's wild. What's one of your most memorable sessions?
Memorable sessions. I mean, the stuff early on that I did really, because everything was so new and fresh at that time and so exciting, and it still is. But those, like, when I was really learning how to do this, that was like super exciting, and figuring out, oh, this is what makes things sound so good, and like figuring out those things.
When you're a sound junkie,
One of my
it is
favorites.
exciting.
One of my favorite sessions was when we recorded. Shout out to Mike Carney. We recorded his song "Dreamcatchers." I think that was the first one we did here of his. And we just had all my good friends in here because he's like my close friend, and we have the same friend group and stuff, and we were all just hanging out in the studio, drinking beers and recording music together. And yeah, that was just like a great time. Those are my favorite sessions where they just feel like a hang, and we're just getting stuff done, and it's going well, and
Yeah, those are the best.
having fun.
Yeah. So, has there ever been a funny or chaotic moment in a session?
Yeah, those happen like all the time. trying to think of a good example of something funny that happens. I mean, funny. I mean, people have goofy takes and stuff, you know, like
Yeah.
would laugh at a funny mistake or a word where somebody said a word that wasn't supposed to be there or whatever. But chaotic for sure. Sometimes, you know, when you get a track where you have, you know, sometimes in a crazy session you might have 50 vocal tracks or more going on, and that gets chaotic. And if you ever run into an issue where like you're kind of maxing out your CPU and stuff, which usually I'm pretty good at managing all that stuff, but you know, sometimes crazy stuff can happen. Like
Yeah, so I guess like
absolute worst
technical,
case
if it's-
scenario, like I've had situations where like I lost a song or something because of a crash.
That's horrible.
And it's not because it wasn't saved or something. Like I use this one plugin. If you use Ableton, you might know, but this one plugin, RX Voice Denoise, is an amazing plugin, and it removes noise from a signal.
Which we have it on this. Recording,
Yeah,
right?
we're gonna use it for this, but it's has this silly thing where it disables the undo function in Ableton whenever it's turned on, and it will also not allow the project to reopen if it crashes. So it's kind of crazy. Like I have to turn it on at the very end.
Oh wow! So if it crashed right now, we would lose this.
Well, it's not on right now. I'll turn it on
that's
when we're
why
done.
you don't have it on.
Yeah.
You didn't, oh, I got you.
Yeah, I learned that the
Okay.
hard way. But I had
Okay, I'm
I
like,
had
hold
a
on.
time.
Yeah, we're
This
gonna
was
have
probably
a moment.
Yeah, I've done probably, you know, in the thousands of sessions at this point, and I probably had 2 times where I had that plugin turned on and the project crashed and we lost it. And I always make it up to be. I always, you know,
gotta
that's my
fix that.
fault.
That's
so
not good.
we fix it. Yeah, we always
Well, the
fix it. and it
plugin, they
always
need to
was
fix
fine.
that. That's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, there's all kinds of software incompatibilities with plugins and
Yeah,
software and stuff. These
yeah, it
days.
gets
It's-
crazy.
Yeah, but
All right, let's go to videographer now.
yeah.
Is when being a videographer, does that change how you ever like look at music?
Yeah, because I would say it opens the possibilities up, because whenever I'm thinking, so when I'm making music for myself, I'm always thinking about how is this going to work in a live context. So I don't want to just make something that just sounds
Smart.
good as a recording. I
Yeah.
want to make something that I can take out and play live in a way that makes sense for the way that I do stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm always thinking about, okay, I'm going to play this keys part here and my vocals are going to come in here, and then I'll switch the guitar here and this synth part will go there, and like I'm sort of mapping the song out in a way that it's exciting as a live performance. And then when it comes to the video stuff, I'm also thinking about that. I'm like, oh, okay, this song would be good in this setting potentially. I'm thinking a lot about that now, because I got like a power bank thing that can power like all my equipment for hours at a time, and so I can just
How
take
much
it
that
all.
costs?
I bought it.
I'm just wondering. Sounds like something I need.
Yeah, well, I bought it on Black Friday, so it was like 60% off for like $1,200. So they're normally like $3,000 or around there.
Oh man.
This you can get a cheaper one that's smaller. I just
Right,
wanted the really
no, yeah.
powerful one.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was like an investment I made, and it's awesome because you can take basically any equipment and just plug it in and have a power source anywhere you can bring this big brick.
That's amazing.
So I can go out in the woods and record
I love
stuff.
that.
I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff like that coming up.
Yeah.
So
I love that. Do you find it easier to capture someone's voice or capture someone's personality?
like on
like
video,
like
or?
recording? Yeah, video. Like what's easy? What are people better at? Is there one that they're better at or not?
I'd say it's a similar. I'm pretty dang good at capturing people's voice. You know, like I just do that so much. So I'm always super confident when people come in to record vocals, because I just know like whatever they're used to, I can either meet that standard or exceed it.
Yeah.
And so that part is pretty easy for me at this point. Even though it still takes effort. It's
As
not
far
something
as
that's
like the
challenging.
people themselves, though, like if you're recording people, what are they? What do you find they're better at? Do you think they're better on the camera, or do you think they're better when they come to record vocals? Do you know what I mean? Like their
It really just depends on the person, you know. Some people are more confident on camera than others, and some people are more confident in the booth than others. So it
it's
really
like a
just depends
50-50
on
probably.
on them and what they work on, you know. Like I personally, I feel like I'm not very good on camera when it comes to like if I have to like if I'm doing a lip sync or something like that, like that's not really my strong suit. So
Yeah.
I the way I get past that is by giving myself so much stuff to do that I can't think about the camera. So that's kind of my approach to like doing live videos. But for other people, yeah, it really just depends on their confidence level.
Yeah.
And it can go either way.
What's one maybe piece of advice so you record the spit things and you record video for people, right?
Yes.
So like what's something that people can do to be more prepared when they come to record?
Just like in the studio, try like if you're gonna do a performance track for a song or something that you did vocals on, you want to like do a video for it, whether it's like a music video or like a piece of vertical content. Maybe just video yourself a little bit and kind of see what you look like and see what are you doing with your hands?
That's
How are
good
you
advice.
standing? What's your
Record-
posture
yeah.
look like? Because you don't want to like go hire a professional videographer and then only find out what you look like on camera that day. So, you know, maybe just plan it out. It's totally going to depend on the vibe of the song and who you are. And that doesn't mean you have to do anything at all. Your vibe might just be your hands in your pockets and you're just casual, you know,
Whatever.
saying your piece. But figure out what your style is and then know that going into it.
Yeah.
You know, like someone like me doing your video can give you tips. But like ultimately, like you are your own thing and you should know what that is when it comes to time to record some,
yeah, and if you don't practice,
video.
I like that advice. Like we all have cameras, so watch yourself, and then you can be like, all right, don't do that, don't do that.
Right.
And
Just
then-
practice, just like anything
Just
else.
practice, yeah.
Yeah.
What's something that excites you about the local scene here in Philly?
A lot of stuff. I love Philly. I think Philly's a really cool creative area because it's a little cheaper to live than a lot of other, you know, metropolitan areas. And I just think there's a cool grit and character and history to this city that I've totally like fallen in love with. I just love how on any given night there's always some kind of event going on somewhere.
Yeah.
Someone's playing music somewhere. Everything from, you know, the highest level stuff at venues to like people doing stuff in their backyard where I started, you know, and like there's just like a whole spectrum of different kinds of creative stuff going on at any given time. There's studios all over the place. You know,
And
that's
Spit's
what I
like been
love
kind
about
of
Philly.
like building its own community, I feel like, right?
Oh yeah,
Like
big time.
Spit's taking over a little, or how do you feel? Do you
I
feel
think
that
so.
way?
Yeah. I mean, I think
You guys
people,
are booked all the time, right? And you're building a Spit too, right?
Yes, this is Spit 1. We recently rented the room next door. It's the same kind of room, same size. And we're going to make Spit 2. It's going to be really cool. It's going to have like a bar in there, a podcast setup, and a lounge, along with a whole recording studio, like a
Awesome.
content area. And Jason is pretty genius at designing studios, and he designed this one. He's also
Oh,
designed
really?
that
I mean, I
one.
know he's part of it a lot, but I didn't know he's like the.
He designs it. Yeah, we have an acoustician
him.
who tells us where to put all the sound treatment, the
Yeah.
acoustic panels. And then Jason, you know, he consults us and asks us what we like and don't like. But ultimately, he's designing the rooms, and he's very good.
Yeah, he
at
does
it.
a great job.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. What's the best piece of advice that you've ever gotten in this along your way?
Oh, is it the best or the worst?
Or the best or the worst? How about
I was
the
gonna
worst
say,
piece?
I was gonna say,
Let's-
basically, just never give up, because that's like you just have to keep going if you want to be in
Well,
music.
you personally though, like, has anybody ever said something to you? Like, did
Yeah.
you? Is that
No,
what it
that's what I
was?
mean.
Okay, I
Yeah,
didn't know
I
if you-
mean, just don't give up. I guess. Shout out to my friend Bruce Brewer back in Washington. He's a good friend of mine, and he said a lot of things that have kind of stuck with me over time. And just stuff along the lines of like, only say what you need to say, and like let
That's
things
good
come through
advice.
that are
That's good advice. I like
that are truly you and what you truly need to to say, you
Yeah.
know, and like that's kind of been a part of my whole philosophy, like the entire time I've been making music. And yeah, I guess I'm trying to think of some other.
Well,
good
what's the
advice
worst
I've
piece?
gotten.
Is there anything that's terrible that someone said to you and you're like, oh my
Well,
God?
that's what I was gonna say. Never give up. That might also be the worst advice because man, you get tired doing this.
Yeah.
And like,
It's
where's
true
it
though,
all leading?
But it's a leading. It's a burning passion.
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't. I don't think you can function without all these projects.
Yeah.
Like,
totally.
what would you do?
I don't. Yeah, exactly.
You'd be, I guess, working for Amazon.
Yeah, I probably
Something,
wouldn't.
but like you
know,
have the
like,
creator. You have a creator in you. So yeah, never give up is horrible. But for people that have it in them, they can't give up. You don't have a choice.
Yeah, and I'm only kidding by
I
saying
know.
never give up is bad advice. But like, if you really never give up, it gets pretty hard.
Yeah.
You know, if you keep trying to get better and better and better,
And it
for
gets
years.
crazy too with because technology is always advancing, and as far as like with computers, you know about software updates and all that. Just keeping up with all the times and all the music and whatever, right? Like it's a lot.
Yeah,
It can be a lot.
it is
right
a lot.
now, I mean, it's kind of Ableton's been around for a while, but from that jump from tape machines to digital to this, it's just always who knows where it's going. But
I can't tell you how many hours I've spent just like tearing my hair out trying to figure out, the solution to a technical problem that I'm trying to figure out, whether it's something that I want to do on stage or something I want to be able to do in the studio, and even just like random hiccups, random technological issues that you run into, and trying to just accomplish whatever you're trying to accomplish. I've spent so many hours just like not knowing how to solve a problem, just trying
that's how you
to
learn.
do it, and like for a long time I didn't have a desk, so I just had like my 2 keyboards and like my laptop like on a stand or even like on the ground on my audio interface, and I would be like hunched over like with my neck craned down like just like my guitar's on and I'm trying to produce at the same time, and I'm just like in all this physical pain while I'm trying to like make something and it's just like getting in the way.
Yeah.
And like so I've spent a lot
And
of
then
time.
when like technical things, if you can't like hear something or
yeah.
you remember those moments. Now you probably know how to fix all those things, but like remember in the beginning days, if you don't know like about sample rate matching or
Yeah.
just little things that
right,
you don't
exactly.
your settings like and you don't know that
Before we had
that can be a
AI to
nightmare.
like just solve that stuff
I
really
know.
quick too.
I know.
Which that stuff's great. I have to say, like Google AI in particular is really good with if you don't know how to do something technically.
Yeah.
It can answer a lot of those
it
questions.
is great. It saves a lot of time.
It does.
Because
yeah.
like before it was like Google search and you have to do all that reading and taking all that time. But yeah, with AI, it's just like finds all the information in a second and sends it over. And you're like, all right, cool. What's the difference between an artist that succeeds and an artist that gives up? Have you seen anybody like, screw this or whatever? Or do they keep going?
I don't know if I've ever like heard someone say I give up, I'm done, but I have seen people, that had potential that just didn't want to keep giving their energy to something they weren't getting anything back from as much as they would like. And I battle with that myself constantly. But I think the people who succeed tend to be people that have good support around them, people that are helping them with their mission, and people that are, being honest with themselves about how dedicated they are to this. Because if you want to do music, you have to go all in on it. You can't really have it be. You can have it be a side thing and have it be something that still is fulfilling, brings things to your life. You play shows, people might even love and listen to your music. But if you like really want to, take it to the next level, you really have to make that your number one thing and go all in on it. And you have to have support. You can't do it all yourself. You gotta
have a team.
Have your people, whether that's an engineer like me or maybe you're like me and you produce and engineer your own stuff. You still need people to help you make videos. Like I can shoot stuff myself, but it really helps when I have friends that can come and help me out, or people that can help you make connections, people that can help you get in your foot in the door in the industry, whether it's shows or promotion or that kind of thing. And I'm lucky to have great people around me that can help me. And I think the people that I watch that tend to do the best and are the most enduring over time are people that are honest with themselves. They know what they have to do. They know it's not guaranteed, and that if it is to be, it's up to me.
Yeah.
And up to them, I'm saying. And so people that are honest with themselves and understand that, and then they also are not trying to do it themselves all alone. They're actively finding the people around them that they need to help carry the burden, because it's a pretty hard thing to do.
And it's like a tough, I mean, you gotta really be in it, like, because people want to get paid everywhere. So like, to really build that team, I mean, I don't know. I guess that's where, unless you have, if you have money, that's great. But
yeah.
Otherwise, you have to find people that will believe in you in the beginning, and maybe do some stuff at a cheaper rate or something like that.
Yeah,
until
totally.
you build. You know what I mean?
No, 100%.
And work together.
I mean, I think
because there's a lot to a
especially
team, and it does make a difference. It does make a difference if you have a team. You can focus on your artistry.
I think, especially when you're young, when you're in your teens and 20s, like, find other people around you that are also excited about what they do.
Yeah.
And and like you were saying, like, just want to help because they think it's cool and they think it's
and
fun.
They're learning
and there's
too. That age,
totally.
Everyone's
Like,
learning.
do things together. And if you're not just making it all about yourself, like, maybe you can help them with something in return or whatever it is. But I think there's a lot of people out there, young, excited people out there. It doesn't have to be some, you don't have to go find some professional out there that is just like a absolute pro at what they do and have them be your person. You can, like, that's great. And if you can hire that person or whatever it is,
Great. Yeah.
that's awesome. But they don't have to be those people. Like, just find the people that are excited about what they're doing and really enthusiastic and want to do this, and make those people your people, and do it together as a team, as something that benefits everyone.
And with it being, 2026, it's like the options to make that happen are so possible. 30 years ago, you couldn't just set up a phone. I mean, cell phones weren't even out probably 30 years ago. You're just coming out,
Yeah.
So there's all the resources. So you just gotta, and now you can learn. I mean, information is more than ever at your fingertips. So if everyone's dedicated, sounds fun. I'm thinking about just being a little kid, and not a little kid, but like, 16 and 20s. Because I was like the late 90s, early 2000s for me. So it was like a different world. I was just getting rid of my 4-track probably and buying like Pro Tools 2, In this building, so a lot of the people that watch this podcast or listen to this podcast, I've been at Drowning Fish plenty of times, and I did not mention that Drowning Fish is partnered with Spit Philly, and it's all in the same building here. The live room and the control room to Drowning Fish is right next door, and then there's Spit Philly, and now there's going to be Spit 2. So you guys are kind of taking over this building, and the people that I've met involved in this whole thing are like the best. Like, you guys are all the best. And it's amazing because it's like it can only get better. And Philly is amazing. Like you said, there's so much talent and so much work. So when you meet a group of people like you guys and Jason and everything that are like so driven by the community and by being good people and actually making good art, and the egos aren't in the way, there's no, maybe Jason's a little crazy sometimes, but he can be. It's fine. He started this madness. So I just want everyone to know, like, if you need any work
Jason.
when it comes to, like a lot of, like he said, hip hop, R&B, pop, all that kind of stuff, vocal recording, Spit Philly is a spot. Drowning Fish is a great spot too. I think, you could go there. It's more live instruments and things like that. They have all the outboard gear, all that good stuff, which is good for vocals
so
too.
badass,
But it's like a different kind of budget a little bit because there's more high end stuff that comes with Drowning
There's more
Fish.
steps that need to be taken too.
And more
finish a
steps.
song.
But definitely, whoever needs to ever record or do video, you shoot awesome video.
Thanks.
Just come to this building. It's amazing here. Where do you see, or where do you want to see yourself or Spit Philly or anything like that? Like, let's say in 5 years.
Well, in 5 years, we want to have multiple Spit locations in various different cities, and I would say in 5 years, like ambitiously, we want to have 5 locations,
I love
like
that.
in different places. But this stuff takes time. It takes a lot of work. And we just build it brick by brick as we go. So, on the Spit side, yeah, definitely want to expand and be present in other cities other than just Philly. And with my own stuff,
And that's so possible. It's such a great name.
yeah,
It's such a
no,
great
totally.
Name. That was genius. That
Yeah,
name.
and I mean, I think we just make something that we make a really chill place for people to come in and feel comfortable and feel like they're getting taken care of. And that's kind of the whole like ethic behind Spit is we want people to come and know that they're going to get taken care of and it's going to be consistent and they're not going to get varying results, depending on when they come or whatever. You get your engineer that you like and you lock in with them and you're going to get the same results. You know what you're getting,
Do people bring their clients here, or do you guys have people hit you up, and then you kind of disperse the work through
it's
the
both.
engineers?
Yeah, I mean, it's both. It's we have so like when we hire a new engineer, what we tell them is, congratulations, you have a room to work out of. Now, it's time to like get some clients, or maybe they have them already and they start bringing them in. And then we also have a mentorship program to help people do that. So we have like workshops every week where we talk about everything from mixing techniques and studio etiquette to like client acquisition and how to work with people and how to be a good
great.
person that people want to work with.
Yeah.
So like we try to offer resources on that front, and then then we have people call on the phone and booking sessions randomly, and when that stuff happens, we dish out the sessions to whoever is a trusted engineer here who
I love that.
is ready for it, and we give it to them, or maybe it's me or maybe it's someone else, but yeah, that's how we do it.
I love that. Do you want to do any plugging as far as your artist project, Spit? Where can we find everything?
Sure, yeah. Well, if you want to book Spit Philly, you could just go to spitphilly.com. We have video options, recording studio options. You can just book however many hours you want, select your engineer and lock in. Feel free to book me if you want to.
Yeah.
Or we also have a list of engineers on the website. You can check them all out. And then, I'm Cal Blac on Instagram. That's CAL.BLAC. There's no K in black. If you spell Cal Blac backwards, it spells Cal Blac. That's how you know. And that's where you find all my music too. It's all under Cal Blac on all platforms.
Cool.
And this year, follow me on YouTube because I'm gonna be doing a lot of YouTube live stuff this year.
Okay.
That's kind of my plan for what's next.
I love that.
Less focused on Spotify singles and stuff like that. I'm more focused on like longer live instrumentation stuff that you watch on video and listen to. So that's
awesome.
kind of what I'm thinking about right now.
Anything else before I ask you the final question of the podcast that you want to put in? Because he actually has a session in like 20 minutes.
Feel free to hit me up. Let's work. You know?
So the last question is, how is music your hero?
Music is like the guiding light around my whole life. It's what, it's everything that I do comes back to music as the center point. Every decision I make, everything that I do is always like, how is that gonna move me forward? And how is that gonna help me be a better artist and a better professional for those that I work with? So I guess that's how it's just like basically everything in my life.
It brings out the best in you, in a way.
Yeah, it does. It does, because it's a really challenging thing to do, and I have to bring my best to it in order to do well at it. So I just give everything I can. I used to spend all my money on it too, and like now, fortunately, I have a lot of the stuff I need now, so I don't have to do that.
And you can
as
make
much,
money.
Yeah, and I can make money.
That's
doing
when
it now,
you're winning.
Yeah,
it's you're paying the bills and doing what you love.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
That's great. All right, well, thank you so much for taking the time to sit and talk with me today, and that's it.
Thanks.
Until next time, keep creating, keep connecting, and keep building together. Remember, we're in this together, so let's keep each other shine live.